This is Bridget James, bringing news at 9 p.m. on SOM TV. We're broadcasting from Jalingo, Taraba State. This is the Pulse of the Nation. Follow us on Facebook at SOM TV and stream live on YouTube at SOM TV Live. Here are the major headlines. NUJ Taraba State Council visit Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, seeks balanced reportage and collaboration. Shettima to deliver Nigerian statement at UN General Assembly on behalf of Tinubu. Nigeria submits a bid to host 2030 Commonwealth Games in London. International news. Malawi's President Chakwera coincides defeat. Congratulates Mutharika on election win. Business news. Naira strengthened as CBN cuts interest rate to 27%. Entertainment news. Tiwa Savage reaffirms loyalty to Davido amid custody disputes controversy. Sport news. Nigeria Football Federation and Bell Power launch locker room bonus scheme to boost Nigerians' football. And now the news in full. The Nigerian Union of Journalists, Taraba State Council, paid a courtesy visit to the Taraba State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board to promote collaboration and balanced media coverage. NUJ Chairman Comrade Matthew Eliujen, he emphasized the media's role in highlighting the board's successes, challenges, and a reform to enhance public awareness and transparency. Acting Executive Secretary Malam Abubakar Usman Tanko, he welcomed the partnership, assuring support for accurate reporting and disclosing that Taraba State has 912 Hajj seats this year, with a fare of 8.5 million naira per pilgrim under new NAHCON approved guidelines. Both parties committed to ongoing collaborations for effective public enlightenment and accountability. Vice President Kashim Shettima is set to deliver Nigeria's national statement on behalf of President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday at the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The address, scheduled between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. local time, will include Nigerians' updated nationally determined contributions under the Paris Agreement. Shettima participated in the Assembly's opening section, where U.S. President Donald Trump gave the keynote. Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President, Stanley Mocha, he noted that Nigeria's statement is expected to make a global impact, highlighting President Tinubu's transformative leadership in diplomacy, security, education, and foreign policy since taking office. Nigeria has officially submitted its bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games at the Commonwealth Games headquarters in London. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emphasized on X that hosting the Century Games in Africa would be historic, as the continent has never staged the event. He stated, by bringing the Commonwealth Century Games to Nigeria in 2030, it would send a powerful message that every region of the Commonwealth matters, and that Africa is not only part of the story, but central to its future. Nigeria is the gateway, Africa is the stage. Details of the bid are awaited. President Bola Tinubu has directed Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike to begin constructing two 300-room hostels and a road linking the body of Bencher's Secretariat with Nile University for the Nigerian Law Schools, Abuja. Similarly, Tinubu approved 300 capacity hostels for male and female students at the campus, addressing accommodation shortages. According to Wike's spokesperson, the projects are under emergency consideration. The road construction will also ease traffic in Jabi district. Both directive underscores Tinubu's commitment to legal education and improved infrastructure, ensuring better living and learning conditions for law students and strengthening Nigeria's judicial system. Jigawa State Governor Umar Namadi has declared full support for President Bola Tinubu ahead of the 2027 presidential election. Speaking at the state government's weekly citizens engagement programs in Roni local government area, Namadi praised the APC's performance in Jigawa, noting that federal project and economic reforms under Tinubu have earned the president the trust of Nigerians. He expressed confidence that residents will vote massively for Tinubu, describing him as a listening leader, responsive to farmers and ordinary citizens. Governor Namadi also welcomed over 1,600 opposition PDP members who recently defected to the APC, reinforcing party unity in the state. The Jigawa State Executive Council has approved over 3.3 billion naira for projects in education, renewable energy, and financial inclusion as part of Governor Umar Namadi's 12-point development agenda. The fund includes 835 million naira for technical and vocational education and training across colleges and tertiary institutions, and 733 million naira for rooftop solar installation under state intervention solar solution programs. Additionally, 779 million naira is allocated for textbooks, teaching materials, and motorcycles to enhance school supervisions. The council also approved 5 new microfinance banks to boost rural financial access, aiming to empower youth, strengthen education, and promote inclusive growth. Katsina State Governor Malam Dikko Umaru Rada has commissioned several renewable energy projects to mark the state's 38th anniversary, reinforcing his administration's commitment to clean, reliable, and affordable energy. The project includes over 200 megawatts of solar power for hospitals, schools, and water facilities. The hybridized 10 megawatts mini hydro system at Danja Dam and nearly completed NLG, CNG, and solar installations at government complexes. Additionally, 500 electric tricycles, solar street lights for schools, and youth training in solar installations were unveiled. Officials praised the initiative as milestones in energy security, economic growth, and environmental sustainability. Katsina State Governor Malam Dikko Rada has linked the rising number of out-of-school children and social vices in northern Nigeria to parental neglect and weak family structures. Speaking at the meeting with the Council of Ulamas and the Zakat and Waqf boards, he stressed the need for a strong legal framework to define parental responsibilities and strengthen marriages. Governor Rada urged Ulamas to consult Islamic clerics statewide on proposed family law and reform and advise parents to carefully assess prospective suitors. State officials and religious leaders called for measures such as pre-marriage health tests and breastfeeding promotion to protect children and family stability. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang has called for the establishment of state police as key measures to address insecurity in the state. Speaking in Jos, he noted that attackers often strike villages from neighboring states and reiterated making centralized federal commands insufficient. The governor highlighted local initiatives, including Operation Rainbow, a community-based security outfit with 1,450 recruits beginning training soon, and the use of surveillance drones to monitor armed groups. While federal deployments remain necessary, Mutfwang emphasized strengthening local intelligence and rapid response. However, some lawmakers, including Yusuf Gandhi, oppose state police, advocating for community policing as a safer alternative. Nigerian troops have intensified nationwide operations, killing scores of terrorists, arresting 20 suspects and rescuing kidnapped victims over the past 24 hours. Army sources said Operation Hadinkai foiled ISWAP JAS attack in Borno, recovering 36 hand grenades, 5 RPG, 700 rounds of ammunition, motorcycles, uniforms, and stolen petroleum products. In the north-central region, Operation Enduring Peace and Operation Wild Stroke rescued kidnapped victims in Kaduna and Benue. Seizing weapons and ammunition, additional arrests were made in Sokoto, Taraba, Kebbi, and Plateau, while illegal oil sites and brokering facilities were destroyed. Operations recovered multiple firearms, explosive vehicles, and bicycles. Yobe State Governor Maimala Buni has donated 47 vehicles and 50 motorcycles to security agencies to enhance their operational effectiveness. Speaking in Damaturu, Buni emphasized that adequate logistics support is essential for routine patrol and rapid response to citizens' distress. The vehicles and motorcycles have been allocated to Police Division, the Army, the DSS, NCOS, Local Government Council, and vigilante units. The move also expands the state rapid response initiative, Operation Haba Maza, to cover all agencies with the police as lead. Local councils have been tasked with maintaining and foiling the equipment and also filling while stipends for agency heats have also been provided. Rivers State Police have arrested 3 suspected kidnappers linked to multiple abductions, including that of Mr. Hobri Wagbara. The suspects were apprehended in Obio, Akpo, and Iwere local government areas, following a coordinated operation triggered by a distress call. The confers to several kidnappings, including Mr. Owuli Jude and Mr. Mwabweze Nwachuku, from which they collected 6 million naira ransom before killing Nwabuchuku. Another victim, Mrs. Mercy Chinyere, was released after 3.5 million naira ransom. Recovered items include a G3 rifle, knives, and Wagbara's phone. Police continue to pursue fleeing gangs members and urge residents to report suspicious activities. The Kano State Joint Task Force Committee for Peace Restoration and Youth Rehabilitation, led by Dr. Yusuf Ibrahim Kofa Mata, conducted a 4-day enforcement operations targeting high-risk areas, resulting in the arrest of 78 drug peddlers and thugs working with the NDLEA and Nigeria Police Force. The operation seized cannabis, Exol 5, pregabalin, rubber solution, sock and dye, and other harmful substances. Location raided includes Mariri, Yanita, Fangay, Kasuar Rimi, and Hotoro Flyover, Kofar Mata, Rijiyar Zaki, and Dang Angudi Graveyard, Kofa Wambai. Authorities emphasize ongoing investigations, prosecutions of offenders, and youth rehabilitation initiative, urging police vigilance to sustain a drug-free environment. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, confirmed that 14 banks have met the new capital requirements in the recapitalization exercise designed to stabilize the financial sector. After the 32nd monetary policy, the committee meeting in Abuja, he explained that international bank must hold 500 billion naira, national bank 200 billion naira, and regional banks 50 billion naira. Merchants and non-interest bank also face fresh threshold. Cardoso stressed the reform enhance risk management, transparency, and resilience. The NPC further reduced the monetary policy rate from 27.25 to 27%, reflecting this inflation trends and aiming to sustain economic recovery while boosting financial discipline. Keystone Bank Limited, in partnership with the EGO Foundation, launched the 2025 Employee Volunteering Scheme Phase 1 in Akure, Ondo State, to empower women and vocational skills. Participants received training in baking, wig making, liquid soap, and disinfectant production, as well as makeup and gele artistry. The program concluded with a graduation ceremony where starter packs were distributed to support immediate skill applications. Izore Lami Ba Mawo, Group Head of Marketing and Corporate Communication, emphasized that the initiative fosters self-reliance, reduces unemployment, and strengthens local economies. EVS reflects Keystone Bank's commitment to sustainable development, inclusion, and meaningful community impact. The World Health Organization has rejected claims that paracetamol used during pregnancy causes autism, stating there is no scientific evidence to support such a link. Large-scale studies of the past decades have found no consistent association. WHO advised expectant mothers to follow medical guidance when taking any medication, particularly in the first trimester, and also reaffirms that vaccines do not cause autism, noting previous studies suggesting otherwise were discredited. The clarification follows U.S. President Donald Trump's remark urging caution with Tylenol and infant vaccines. Medical experts maintain that acetaminophen remains safe for pregnant women and when used appropriately. A Federal Capital Territory High Court in Jabi has sentenced former legislative aide and banker Goni Yilkang to 8 years in prison for defrauding job seekers of 120.58 million naira through a fake employment scheme. Justice F.E. Masiri convicted Yilkang on 2 counts of obtaining money by false pretense following a case brought by the EFCC. Yilkang and co-defendant Mohammed Adamu collected funds from over 60 job seekers, promising positions in government agencies, but no jobs were secured. Yilkang testified in his defense, while Adamu was acquitted. The ruling comes amidst the EFCC's intensified crackdown on fraudsters nationwide. The Oyo State government has announced temporary road closure in Ibadan ahead of the coronation of former Governor Rashidi Lodaja as the 44th Olubadan on September 26, 2025, a day after his 81st birthday. Roads affected include Bia Junction, Bon Photo Junction, Idi Arere Junction, and Ilerin Junction. The closure accommodate President Bola Tinubu and Governor Seyi Makinde, who are expected to attend 3 official car parks. And the shuttle service they have designated for guests. Preparations began with an interdenominational prayer at Olubadan Palace. Ladoja succeeds the late Oba and the 43rd Olubadan, who passed on July 7, 2025. It's now time for a brief commercial break. Stay tuned because the most captivating stories are just moments away and you won't want to miss a single update. Please don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, queens and kings of purpose, welcome to the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival 2025, where nearly 100 powerful minds, dreamers, doers, and defenders of humanity will be gathered at Taraba 2025. And I say to them, welcome to the spark before the wildfire and to the heartbeat of a legacy. Prince Homsuk Alex Jibrin is my name. I am the greatest grandson to the 23rd Longwo, third son to the Kanai of the Kwo chiefdom, and a true prince to the house of Mamen. At Tarif, we will not only be telling stories, but we will be reviving the very soul of a people through film. In September 2025, Taraba will rise again as we invite you to experience, explore, and invest in the greatest epic film ever in the Kumbo Legacy Workshop. And this is where ancient tradition will meet with modern transformation. Because at Tarif, we shall be celebrating the strength, wisdom, and heritage of the greatest empire that has ever existed in West African history. And tomorrow, we shall immortalize it in art, film, and in fire. So storytellers, stand tall. The legacy is calling. Will you answer? Welcome to Tarif 2025. Let the revolution begin.
Welcome back. We are glad you're still here with us. On the international news, Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera has conceded defeat in last week's election, acknowledging that his predecessor, Peter Mutharika, won. Chakwera called Mutharika to congratulate him and pledge a peaceful transition of power, noting that his supporters may be disappointed, but the result was clear. Economic challenges during Chakwera's term, including high inflation and rising food and fertilizer prices, contributed to voter dissatisfaction. The High Court rejected his party's attempt to delay results over alleged irregularities. Mutharika, campaigning on restoring economic stability, promised to rescue the country, with the election mainly contested between Chakwera's MCP and Mutharika DPP. Business news. The Naira strengthened against the US dollar following the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to cut its interest rate for the first time in 5 years. The Apex Bank reduced the rate by 50 basis points to 27%, boosting market confidence. The Naira rose to 1487.37 dollar in the official market and 1,520 Naira. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso cited positive economy indicator, including this inflation, output growth, exchange rate stability, and rising foreign reserves, now at $42.13 billion. Analyst says the move encourages liquidity, stimulates growth, and signals cautions optimism for Nigeria's economy. On entertainment news, Nigerian singer Tiwa Savage has reaffirmed her loyalty to Davido despite past tensions in their friendship. Speaking on The Breakfast Club, she explained that a misunderstanding arose after they shared a photo with Davido's first baby mama, Sophia Momodu, amid his custody battle over their daughter, Imade. Tiwa emphasized that she remains supportive of Davido and will not betray him or take sides in the dispute. She stated, "I have not spoken to Davido, but I do want you to know that I love you and I would never betray you or take sides," highlighting her enduring friendship and loyalty. Sport news. Nigerian Football Federation President Ibrahim Gusau has endorsed Bet Power locker room bonus initiative aimed at awarding Nigerian National League player and curbing talent migration abroad. Launched in Abuja, the scheme guarantees 56,000 naira per win to 20 players, and 3 technical staff paid directly to mobile wallets, with teams collectively earning 1,288 per match, backed by 494 million naira. The loan emphasized transparency and professionalism, motivating players and attracting corporate support. NNL chairman George Alio and players praised the program, noting its potential to improve performance, retain talent, and professionalize Nigerian football, replicating successful models from Ghana and Uganda. To the end news, here is the recap of the major headlines. The Nigerian Union of Journalists Taraba State Council paid a courtesy visit to the Taraba State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, seeking collaborations and balanced reportage. Vice President Kashim Shettima is scheduled to deliver Nigeria's national statement at the United Nations General Assembly on behalf of President Bola Tinubu. In sport diplomacy, Nigeria has officially submitted its bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games in London. On the international scene, Malawi's President Lazarus Chakwera has conceded defeat and congratulated Peter Mutharika on his election victory. Business news: the Naira strengthens after the Central Bank of Nigeria cuts the interest rate to 27%. From entertainment, Tiwa Savage has reaffirmed her loyalty to Davido amidst the ongoing custody dispute controversy. And finally, in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation, in partnership with Bet Power, has launched the locker room bonus scheme to boost Nigerians' football. That's where we leave it tonight. I am Bridget James. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye for now.
Fellow Tarabians, my name is Professor Jerome Nyame, the People's Professor. I want to call on all 168 wards that continuous voters registration is currently going on. I urge you to get your PVC today, your voice and your ticket to participate in shaping our dear states. Get your PVC now, keep it safe, and exercise your rights. Let's make our voice heard. Thank you. I remain the People's Professor, Professor Jerome Nyame.